Hello, 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 everybody. Good day to you. Happy Friday. Welcome to your weekend. I hope everything is going well. And let me just get my desktop all set up here and we will get into it here. Right. We're good there. YouTube says we are live. So let's get that out of there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Excuse me. It is morning time and we have some great smoke from fires going on. Even though I think they're from Northern California and Canada, they kind of moved down the Rocky Mountains, and you normally could see like Pikes Peak and beautiful scenery, but it's all foggy from smoke. Thus, I'll try not to hack too much into the microphone. I'll try to turn away. So, hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Good to see everyone and excited for what Spirit has. I woke up thinking, I'm just going to go back to sleep. But then I'm like, no, let's get up, let's shower, let's try to get everything clear. So hopefully I'll maintain my voice. We'll send beautiful energy to our throat chakras. But before we get started, let's bring in some love into our own selves, fill us up, and flow out to the world. As I was shuffling cards this morning, I had all these cards popping out, both in Oracle and in Tarot. Just a great reminder that whatever we focus on, the big thing was the magician and how we are all so powerful that whatever we focus in, we draw in. So if I focus on, oh, my sinuses, my allergies, guess what? But if I focus on gratitude for breath and life and joy, higher vibration, I expand that. So whatever we focus in is what we grow and expand. Because I had like cards that were fear, and then all these cards that were joy and gratitude and everything. And I'm like, yep, that's what it's all about. Whatever we focus on most, we expand. Thus, that's why at the beginning of these in all my sessions, I try to send love out to the world so that we could join together and expand the love within us and attract that higher vibration, but also help the collective too. So if you'd like to join me in doing that, I, of course, always welcome that. We'll start off taking a big, deep breath in, holding it for a moment, and release it. When we release, the we let the chaos of the world and the fears fall away. And then we'll allow the love energy to fill all those pockets. So, big deep breath in, hold for a moment, and release. Beautiful. We have our singing bowl. So, as I hit the singing bowl, usually hit it like 3 times. We'll let that love flow in, fill us up, and flow out. So, here we go. As I clear my throat, as if I'm going to be the one singing, but maybe the singing bowl was clearing its throat. It's going to be a fun day. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. She's still singing away, so we'll try to carefully put her back here. Let her continue singing away. There we go. All right. So thank you so much for joining me in doing that. And so let us take a look here. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to clear my throat that close to the microphone. As you might have noticed, if you guys were here a little earlier coming in, we do have the every month YouTube gives away 10 free of my Zen Cricket YouTube channel memberships. Next weekend will be the first Saturday of the month, which is when they give it to me on the first. But since Saturday is my big day where most people are available, I give 5 away in the morning and 5 away in the evening. But you have to have your little I accept free channel memberships. You have to have a little switch set to on so that only people that are interested will get gifted it, which makes sense. It's smart, right? That way they're not giving it to people that are like, I don't care, but people that really do want it. So that's the video that I just posted there. If you haven't turned your setting on, or if you're not sure, it'll tell you how you can check. That will be next Saturday. And then this week, we did put out a new pick a card for the Leo new moon, which will be next week, but we put it out early to prepare. This one it'll talk about making the most of the Leo new moon wishes, but also has a pick a card about what unseen thing is being spotlighted for you to see. So be sure to check that out. And of course, this week we started Leo season on Monday. So happy birthday to all you Leo sun babies out there. I know I got a lot of them. And there's a special 3-month reading, a bonus reading for the Leo sun babies. There's a pick of cards for all of us, but there's a special one at the end for all Leos. Be sure to check that out. If you have any Leos in your life, wish them a happy birthday and send them the link. It's a free 3-month forecast for them. With the Leo energy coming in, I posted this. I was going to post this next week on the 31st, but they had me post it last Saturday, which is the Lions Gate portal. August 8th is a huge day. This year, especially, there's a lot going on in the ethereal and energy of the planet. And so this year, there are 8 special gates that are opening up, like portals. And this one is gives you a choice. You can pick as many as you want on there, but there is a Lions Gate portal that's on there. And I do talk about what is the Lions Gate? What is it? It's sparked because of Leo season, Leo constellation, the sun being in Leo, the earth being aligned with the sun, Orion, and Sirius A star. So there's the special kind of gateway, that this portal that opens up that allows a lot of um, transformation, a lot of integration of things. So be sure to check out that video there. Sorry if that air conditioner is loud. And let's see, what else did we want to talk about here? Those are good. Those are good. August monthlies. Can you believe August is next week already? So if you haven't checked out your August monthlies, here is the link to the playlist for each individual zodiac sign. We also go into that at the beginning, the astrological energy. So I cover the retrogrades, and like important, I talk about the new moon, full moon, just overview to give you kind of a forecast of some energy that spirit wants you to know about, so you can make the most of it and keep your zen during it all. And then also, if you're looking for relationship information, these solstice readings are for each individual zodiac sign, and it started on the summer winter solstice. So it's still good for a couple more months, or at least, yeah, because it's through August 22nd. I mean, September 22nd is when we go into the equinox. And then within that one, it talks about within each of it's for each individual zodiac sign, but it breaks it out by single and looking, also married or in a relationship, and the happy hermit. So it's not just romantic. It also talks about, especially the happy hermits, which I am one of those. That's why I make sure to include them, because I know I'm not like interested in that much anymore. I'm like happy with spirit and expanding and all that kind of stuff. Just I think I was a hermit or a monk in a lot of my lifetimes. But so that is the main stuff coming in here, and the free stuff, and that's why I like to make sure everyone knows, because of my monthly YouTube members. I am able to do this, and all those that make donations during these sessions, and everyone that purchases any of my other things that I offer, which are all listed down in the description box or on my main page of my website at bruddaZEN.com. So, and of course, I love sending blessings and a shout out to my lovely host. If you guys saw my cozy chat, I canceled this week because um, she we thought she broke her foot because her overexcited black lab, when the Amazon truck came, ran into her, and her knee went one way and her ankle went the other, and so she's in a little boot, but thankfully it was not broken, and so we're grateful for that. But it was a great reminder of trying to control the uncontrollable. The uncontrollable little Frankie is her name, the black lab. She's so cute, but she gets very hyper. But so we have wonderful, all that to say blessings, because she allows me to live in her cellar, her basement, for free as her gift to the world. So thank you guys so much. And shout out here, I do have one of my regular YouTube channel members. You'll see their names in green with a badge. HTTPS is one of my regular monthlies. And then you'll notice we got Kritika Malhotra, Eucalypt Body Wash, Shanji. I think those are the winner, and those were winners of the YouTube Zen Cricket memberships for last month. So you got about another week or so before your membership, the free one for the month, says bye-bye. So I hope you've been enjoying it. All right, so let's get going here. I'm going to be using this beautiful Lost Soul Tarot. Sorry for the glare there. The cards are not as glossy as that. And if you're new to my channel, excuse me, or new to these readings, welcome. We've got a great group of people, huge hearts, great senses of humor. We're all friends here. And how the free readings work, I do go down in order, first come, first serve down the chat. There's no special list. The chat is it. And so you just put your question out, or if you don't want to put your business out there, we get it. You can just ask for a general reading. Spirit knows all. We'll pull cards for that and see what comes through. But if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, prioritize those readings, step out of the free readings. I dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards. Usually for free readings, it's 1 to 2 cards. And then, so sorry. That frog did not want to go. Here we go. Let me just take a sip here. So sorry you guys have to hear that. But so that's how those work. And you can use to donate, you can use the super chat, or in the description box of the video we have our CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, and Square. And whatever dollar amount you want to give is perfect. I know everyone's finances vary, so whatever you're able to give from your heart is perfect. So all the blah 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 said and done, let's jump in here. I'll be on for about 2 hours is how long I'm on for these, and then I go spend an hour with my praying mantis channel members And then the free readings and sometimes donations that I don't get to during that 2 hours, I will come back in the afternoon normally to finish those out as well. So, all right. Let's get into it. Hello, hello, everybody. Nova, hello, hello. Look at this little herd. Got a herd of rainbow unicorns. I love it. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for your multiple donations there. So we have 4 from Nova, then we'll jump to HTTPS and then MMC, and then a couple more for Nova, and then Infinity. So thank you guys so much. That's where the donations are right now. So we'll give you one more shuffle, and let's jump into your first question. So Nova, what wisdom and insight would Kurt like to bestow upon you? See, is he going to be using Oracle? Yeah, he sure is. He does want to give you this gateway Oracle. So let's take a look here. See, because he likes to talk in stories most of the time. Sometimes he likes tarot, but for the most part. Wow, what a great message. It's cherishing self. And it says here, let's see if I can get it to focus. I accept and love myself. This is great for all of us. We'll accept it all. So there are times to put your own needs above the needs and expectations of others. Put yourself first today. Buy yourself roses, invite yourself out to a sumptuous dinner, or buy that special gift for yourself that you've been putting off. Treat yourself the way you would treat an honored guest. Wow. The universe wants you to know, Kurt wants you to know, be your own advocate. Spend time cherishing yourself kindly and gently. Focus on what is wondrous and remarkable about you. When you truly care for yourself, you're able to care for others even more and make a difference in their lives. It's difficult to give when your cup is only half full, but when your cup is overflowing, you have more than enough to offer others. In the same way that a flight attendant tells you to put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others with theirs in an emergency, cherish yourself first, and then others will benefit even more. Some questions you can ask yourself. Is there something blocking your self-care? How can you cherish yourself even more? And in what ways do others benefit when you nurture yourself? I like it. Let's see where I'm going to put these. Make some space here. So I love that message from Kurt for you, self-care and putting yourself first, because, hey, Noah, there is this, when you care for yourself, it is, sometimes we feel like we're a barrel and we plug people in at the lower part of the barrel. And then we feel exhausted because we're always giving and we don't have enough coming in, and it goes low. And we're always feeling half full or half empty or more. But when we change to a chalice instead of that barrel, and we don't plug things in, because the chalice, you can't. You don't have the ability that we fill up, and then everyone gets the overflow. And that's one of the greatest gifts we can give the world, is a healthy, full, overflowing us, and the sweet nectar that overflows instead of the sediment and the sour, bitter waters, and even resentful waters sometimes, because we feel like, oh, I'm supposed to give to everyone else first. We get bitter and sour and resentful, and that water doesn't taste as good as the one that comes over the top. So I like that for you. So that is what Kurt has for you first. So I like that. So thank you for your first donation, and of course the second. I love all this herd of unicorns. I think there's a joke something, oh, it's not appropriate for YouTube, but it had to do with horses, little horses, and a patient had digested them or they were in their body somehow. And someone says, "Well, how are they?" Well, their condition is stable because stable with little horses. But a bunch anyway. That's what's coming through. All right, spirit has a sense of humor. Sewage water, the sewage waste. You're so funny. All right. So the second question you have is, what do the coolest, most awesome spirit guides want you to know about whatever? And we've got these Queen of the Moon oracle here, and I feel like they want to give you another oracle here. So let's take a look here. What do the super cool ones want you to know? Wow. So you've got gratitude coming in, card number 23. Just zoom in a little closer here. Those hands almost look real. They're like, where did they come from? Who's there with you, bruddaZEN? No. All right. So it says, be where you are and be thankful. There is always something to be grateful for, no matter your suffering. Gratitude raises a lower vibration to a higher one. We've heard this before, right? Do not allow yourself to be surrounded by too many negative people. Life is conspiring for you. Little mini affirmation for the card. I joyfully turn my attention to what I'm grateful for. It says, as we enter the last quarter moon on the lunar cycle, the energies begin to turn towards surrender and release. To let go of what we no longer need, it behooves us to pay attention to what we have right now, both positive and lower vibration. This attention paying and focus allows us to wisely discern and to be grateful for all of it. Yes, all of it is what it says. Because the nasty stuff, the stuff that is making us suffer right now, it already happened, and we can take wisdom from this. However, now it's going, waxing crescent 4 and the dark moon are going to sort that out for you. It's going. And what we have left is the good stuff. And frankly, most of it is going to be great. Taking some time out on this moon to list a few things you feel grateful for will raise your vibrations and banish any resistance you have to ditching old, outmoded patterns. Doing this also turns your powerful focus away from a story you may have started to believe of everything going wrong or life does terrible things to you. Gratitude is a balancer. In fact, it normally tips the scales to the positive. And the companion stone or metal is ocean jasper. So if you have ocean jasper, if you're a crystal uh, entrepreneur or no connoisseur, that's what I was wanting to say. Can look into those energies with that too. So I like that. I like this. You know, Gratitude is the balance, or when we are feeling low and depressed, that means we're focused on the past, right? Um, and feeling down. But if we make gratitude part of our daily habit, and I've talked about, a gratitude journal when I did one I was going to do it for 30 days, was my intention. And I started off just one thing every day that I was grateful for and vowed not to repeat anything for 30 days. It transformed everything by the time I got um, you know, to the end of the 30 days. I was amazed at the change and the energy, but then also was already drawing things to me. The things I was being grateful for, got bigger. I got more things to be grateful for that I wanted to continue to do it. I love the feeling, and I almost did it for 5 months, not repeating anything that, I was grateful for during that time, and it was amazing, and I stopped not because I was running out of things to be grateful for, but that I was just like it became like, gotta write it down, but I had because I'd done it steadily for that amount of time, my attitude changed. I became an expert in gratitude, where I can find something to be grateful for in any situation, because after that amount of time, you really start to look at it going, "Wow," you can see it and you can have that. So yeah, absolutely, and so if you're not doing that already, I would do that, and if depression is a a, you know, tendency, if lower vibration and focus on lower vibration is our tendency, and we wanna change things even faster, then we can do it in the morning and at night, and maybe in the middle of the day, and then if someone really wants to change things, change a habit, putting an alarm every hour, every waking hour or 2 about gratitude, because there's so much in the outside world, especially now the energy in the world where there's this big separation of higher vibration, lower vibration. So a lot of opportunity for lower vibration to sucks us back into it, right? That it's like, okay, you know, let me put a reminder, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And then it changes us, right? Yeah. Yep, substances, that's the go-to, right? When the stress is happening, the fears, it's like, what's my comfort, right? And so that's what we tend to go for is the old comfort stuff, substances, sex, food, whatever the stuff is that, we all have our go-tos, our comfort actions, our comfort foods and different things. So I like that about self-care coming in. That makes sense with, both of these, focus on gratitude, being gentle with yourself with the suffering feeling that we have and realize I can change this if I want, And then of course they have to bring up the counseling. They're like, and then PS, counselor. Yeah. Especially when we resist it, you know, it's like if I have this if I have a thought that sugar's bad for me and I shouldn't do it and I'll deprive myself, and then if I get stressed, then I'll eat like 3 3 apple fritters instead of just enjoying one, every few days or whatever. And, moderation. It's like all or nothing, right? Yeah. Yeah, I like that for you. So that is what they have for that one there, my dear. Hang in there. And then I think you just rewrote number 3, right? Yeah. So thank you for your additional donation. And number 3 is, what do spirit guides say about your progress? You really feel you've been maturing and learning a lot about yourself lately. Are they proud of you? Absolutely. They are absolutely always proud of us because they don't have judgments like humans do. They look at our lives as there's no wrong and there's no right choices. There's just choices with experiences. And, the spirit realm, not everyone comes to the physical realm. They have dubbed humanity the brave ones, those who are, willing to come down here and experience feeling small, the feeling what it might feel like to have this veil and feel disconnected, feel alone, feel all those lower vibrational fear energies, because we vibrate at a very high level on the other side that we can't can't experience fear. We can't experience lower vibration because it doesn't exist. It's like saying that, darkness has, being able to appear in a bright room that has lights from every direction. It can't exist. There's no shadow. So we come down and we created this giant amusement park of shadow to experience it. So there's nothing wrong with it. They don't go, oh my God. It's like, wondering, um, do people judge us when we go to an amusement park and ride rides? They're like, no, that's why you go there. It's like, yeah, you're doing what you wanted to do. So, people don't judge. And that's why spirit doesn't judge us for anything. They're just like, what are you going to do next? They're along for the ride. Woohoo, let's go. What are you going to happen? Right. So, when we look at what we're experiencing, until we're ready to change, we won't. But then we can get help, you know, and ask for help. Like you said, with starving yourself and not eating food and stop caring, that's like a self-punishment that we do. And then so there's something that triggers within that our inner child feels we should be punished. And so we start punishing ourselves. But that's what can be broken. That habit can change, like it was talking about, changing the cycle. And but definitely, um, finding the counselor when you're ready, because you won't do it until you're ready. And that's what happens when we're suffering enough, where our suffering outweighs the fear of letting that go. Then, you know then we do it, which, it's when suffering or a pain or a fear has been with us for so long, it's almost like a household pet. And it's like we think, oh no, I'm gonna have to put my pet to sleep. I don't want to let go of my suffering and my pain and, those things. It's like, but when we realize, no, we integrate it, we don't destroy it, we transform it and integrate it. And then we feel like, okay, I'm not going to feel empty without it. They're actually going to become a part of me. And instead of it being charged and impacting me, subconsciously, we transform it, and then it changes things. So you're your own household pet. A part of you is, yes. So yeah, definitely. Um, let's take a look here too. So let's see here. So that was all just channeling. Let's see what they say with the cards. All right. Yep, you've got the Three of Wands here. And the Three of Wands is about changes of direction. And so they're making you aware that you have changed directions. That, again, whenever we ask spirit about, sometimes we don't feel like we're making progress, but we're always with ourselves every day. But if you look at yourself a month ago, you look at yourself a year ago, you look at yourself 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you're going to see that you're totally different people with how you've been progressing in your removal of the obstacles that were created over this lifetime between seeing who you really are, right? And that's what you've been doing, is removing, they usually say scales that are in front of our eyes. It's stuff that has covered it up, where we're slowly removing things, and we're getting a stronger and stronger picture of, of who we are. So that you've been, changing directions. Yeah. And you got the Six of Cups, balancing of emotions, the Queen of Wands, focusing on your energy, focusing on balance. You've been doing that quite a bit. Yeah, the stability of the outside world with the Four of Pentacles. What else do we have here? Yep, the Magician and the Five of Wands. Yeah, and here's owning your energy and transforming from lower vibrational energies to higher vibrational energies. Yeah. And you got the Sun and the High Priestess. So, finding your strength, finding your brightness when you step away to your High Priestess temple and connect to spirit. So I feel like they're acknowledging how you, um, I don't want to say cry out to spirit, but with your heart at least, if not verbally, but you cry out going, help me, help. I know you can help me. And you turn to them instead of more so than you used to, like you used to always turn to the outside world, right? Always to substance, always to whatever. But again, comparing yourself to like a year ago, look how often you turn to spirit instead of to the outside world. And you have the Nine of Pentacles. So you've got all this hermity energy, and the Five of Cups is transforming your emotions. So they are proud of you, and all the stuff that we just talked about. um, with all of this, you might consider getting out and interacting with people. There's a lot of great energy here with when you're alone and you connect to spirit, but sometimes you spend too much alone. And like one of the cards, the oracle cards, was not being around negative people. And so sometimes it's good to get away from the environment if you're, feeling the negativity. It's good to get out. And when we sit in darkness, the darker things are more easily believed. But when we bring darkness into the light, things seem less scary. Like the scary monsters aren't. It's like when watching a scary movie. When it's dark out, ooh, but when it's the daylight, it's not as scary. And so when we bring things out into the energy, yeah. So it's important for you to do that. So finding a counselor, number one, right? That's on your list, right? Number one, counselor. And then number two, just get out, even if it's going to, I don't know, they even have record stores anymore, but getting out to somewhere where you hear music, where you're just around, you don't even have to talk to people. It's just to being around an environment where you feel comfort. And I feel like that's important for you. So, so that is what they have for you right now. All right. So let me just move some stuff here. All right. I know, right? Ooh. Okay. All right. So that was number 3. And then number 4, thank you for your multiple donations. I really appreciate that. And let's see. And then number 4 is, what am I not seeing? What does Kurt want you to know? You feel called to ask. All right. Let's take a look here. Yeah. Yeah. Getting out does help. When you change your environment, it gives you a better, clearer picture, especially if you get away from everything that's around you. When you get away and you're in a whole new environment, you can see yourself in your life more clearly too. So I like that. All right, let's see. What does Kurt want you to know? What can you know? Yeah. Well, he's bringing back up here. Here's this cup overflowing again. So he's kind of reiterating this because it was the cherishing yourself card, I think, right? So, but here's all these cups, filling and overflowing. So he's reiterating this: cherish yourself, because no one can cherish you to the extent that you your heart desires to be cherished. The outside world will always fall short. It's inward and upward is where we fill up with this unconditional love and allow it to, define us, right? And so we've got the Two of Wands here, which with the Death card here, it's choosing renewal, and it's like you're not going to choose it until you are ready for it, and I like that energy, because it's almost like this, he's bringing up like his suicide, and and actually it's funny because this is, I relate to this too, which I know you rate, and most of us probably relate to this. It's like life can feel so overwhelming and so much that we can contemplate ending it. But then when we look at, well, what's the worst thing that can happen if I continue living another day? That I die. I'm like, well, if I'm going to self fulfill that prophecy, then why do I care? Let me just go. I'm going to go live until I don't want to live anymore. But I feel like they're saying the Two of Wands is a choice, in that we can choose to live or we can choose to exist. And when we start to look at, what am I waiting for? With that, and I feel like they're encouraging you. You know, it's like you can choose self love and to live, or to choose death. That's always our every moment. We're choosing it, but every moment we're taking another step towards the end of this lifetime anyway. We're already going to be headed that direction, so they're like, so why rush? Just to hang out, you know and enjoy it. And yeah, and you want to live, right? Seven of Pentacles is be patient, trust the journey, trust the timing, be here now, is a big important message with all of this. Yeah. And the Eight of Swords, is you have been and will be, continuing to understand the small t truths of fear that have made you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. And you've come a long way. You've been releasing a lot. Um, so be proud of yourself, nurture yourself, um, realize you're the best friend that you've been looking for. You're the love of your own life. And when I start treating myself that way, all this nurturing that's coming back in here, it's like, choose life, choose to live. And then we look at stuff and go, where am I investing my energy? Am I investing my energy in killing myself, even if it's a slow death that I'm doing? Or am I choosing to live? And that's an important message for us all. I like that. It's funny. Think it was like after the last session, because you had been talking about Kurt. Because it's Kurt Cobain. For anyone else that's watching, he's actually one of Supernova's spirit guides, and it's great because there's I looked at his date of birth, because I was wondering, I wonder what he is, but he was born on February 20th, 1967. So he was born like a little over a week after I was, which I'm like, oh, that's why I get along. So he's on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, and that's why I relate so much to him too, because he's an Aquarius water, which I'm Aquarius sun, but I've got like a stellium of Pisces. So so it's really like, oh, I get it. I get his energy. Like, that's why I'm like, oh, okay, so that makes total sense. But so he's like, choose to live, if you want, because they never, um they just, he's relating to you and saying, you know what, I not that we have regrets, but they're like, I think it would be really cool seeing your future because he gets to see your entire possibilities of choices and fated events and different things in your life. He's like, he's going, I would stick around if I were you. He's winking. So I like that. Well, they don't really have wants, but they're just like, since you're asking my advice, I would stick around. Nudge, nudge, So it's like, all right. They try to keep futures vague. Once because there's all these possibilities and they see so many things, but they're just like, we come down here veiled for a reason. We want the surprise. We want the unknown experience. So fine, I'll live. You're so funny. All right. So that's what he has for you right now, Nova. So thank you for your multiple donations. We'll circle back around for your other ones here in a moment. So just make sure to put your questions down there for when that time arrives. And thank you again. I appreciate you. You're so funny. All right. HTTPS. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like since it lets me do that. And you want messages from your spirit team? Please. Absolutely. Let's do that. Take a quick sip here. All right. So what does your spirit team want you to know here? I wanted that one too. All right. What do we got going on here? Justice. So on the bottom of the deck, you have both the Justice card with those scales that are there, and also have the Temperance card, which is also the balancing of things and patience. So two major cards about with this energy of balance coming in. And I don't feel like it's a not even like a reminder. I just feel like it's like a kudos, like a fist bump going the balancing, the patience that you've been having. Um, you might be feeling like you've been feeling impatient in some ways or whatever, but they're like, trust me, you've I like this reminder for us when we've come a long way and done a lot of stuff and we forget because we're with ourselves all the time that we, have that, you know, kind of energy. Um, especially our humans sometimes is our own worst critic, right? We've got such a high bar for ourselves. We let a lot of people, have this, but oh no, I have to do this. And then when we realize, no, 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 be more gentle with yourself and um, more praising of yourself, I guess, it is kind of what's coming in there. Yeah, and here you go, because you have the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords. So the peace of mind and the mental stability and the Queen of Wands, a lot of energy. Don't know if you've been getting a lot of mental messages coming in here with this Queen of Wands. I feel like you've just been getting a lot of stuff dropped into your head and you're wondering, is that just my mind or is that spirit? And I feel like with this Queen of Wands, because they're very much, um, this connection to the spirit world, connection to, you know, uh, your empathic abilities. And, because the Queen of Wands, she rules with the king over the spiritual energy of the wands, the fire. But all the queens are given that second portion of water too, which allows them to have the empathic abilities that come in here. So I feel like, they're wanting you to know that no, no, this is, when you're at and have your peace of mind, and when you're not in fear, you're hearing crystal clear, and that's them dropping messages into your brain with that there. Hey, Kaylin. No, not yet. You have quite a few people ahead of you still here, but if it resonates, Spirit can bring messages for all of us through all the messages. So if it resonates, definitely, spirit can kill a whole flock of birds with one stone, metaphorically. I guess they could do it physically too, but they don't won't do that. This is for HTT TPS right now. All right, but I like all that. And then you have the 6 of Wands. So, the balancing energy is here too. You got the 4 of Swords, you got the 6 of Wands, all this balancing, the King of Pentacles. This is your feeling this wholeness and this fullness of the outside world. And I feel like you're having more patience and with the physical world and about abundance and sustenance, because you have the 9 of Wands, which is, this energy that's like, you might have feel like there's this barrier regarding having stuff come from the outside world, but with the 9 of Wands, I feel like this is, especially when you have the Queen of Wands in there too. She has that Ace of Wands, and you're really stepping into your personal power around it. And I feel like that's just it's probably one of the most challenging things for all humans, because we're taught sustenance comes from the outside world, and are humans going to bring me what I'm needing, and am I going to have what I need? But when we realize it's spirit, it's creator, it's source, who has endless resources that brings us what we need in each moment, we start developing this trust, this confidence that they're always going to provide us what we need in each moment. Not everything our ego wants, but everything that our journey requires. We're always going to have that. Plus more. They always like to give us more because they're not, you know, prison wardens where they're giving us bread and water, right? They want to embellish, they want to give us more than we're asking for. But our energy is the thing that keeps things away. And I feel like you've been working on releasing and really, you know, if you feel like things get kept away from you now and again, it's our inner child is the one who goes, nope, we're not worthy of that, and keeps things away. And I feel you've been working on that. And for anyone else that resonates with, um, I have this take 10 with Zen, which I talk about this probably every every live, but it's such great information. This is the 6 of Pentacles is about the balancing of our worthiness. We develop this out of balance, giving and receiving when it's usually our emotional body, 7 years old and younger, that feels it has to give 1,000 love coins to get one love coin back, and it doesn't know any better. It thinks that sounds fair, and then it gets put in our subconscious and it rolls over our life, going forward like that. And until we bring it into our consciousness and transform it, bring it down to one, then there's these force fields that our little inner child will put up regarding love and money and jobs and whatever abundance might be. It's like, no, no, we don't deserve that yet. And it's in charge down there. So it'll, do that. So hopefully that makes sense for right now. But I just feel like there's this message of you're balancing things, you're doing really well with all that, and I feel like what's really present right now for you is getting beyond that barrier of worthiness that's below the surface. I feel like, you have it up here, like, I know I'm worthy, I know I deserve this, I know this is coming, but it has to do with what's going on below the surface emotionally. Um, and so if you haven't checked out that video, if I haven't mentioned it, definitely kind of sit with that. And there's this release that can come there. All right. So that's what they have for that. HTTPS. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. And just an update here. So MMC will be next. And then Nova gets 2 more. And then Infinity. And then Kaylin, then you'll be up there with your donation via the Cash app. So just to keep everyone in the loop there. All right. So MMC, thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. Good to see you in a general career reading for next week. All right. Let's give these a shuffle, take a sip. All right. So what does Spirit want you to know about your career for next week? All right. So that card came flying out. Let's see what these are all about here. I don't want that one, just that one there. Okay. So the card that first made itself known here is the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups, she rolls with the cups, of course, the emotions with the king, but the queen also gets a second portion of cups. And when we look at that, especially when we're asking about career, there's like this, is this what your heart wants? Is what you're doing, what you're pursuing, where you're working at currently or where you're wanting to work, is that serving your heart or our mind and the fears that our mind has? This long list of supposed to be, should be's, need to be's, have to be's, must be's. Because the bottom of the deck, we've got the Seven of Swords, which does represent all of our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, these obstacles, these beliefs that we have that keep us um, where it steals opportunity. It keeps us from pursuing our heart because our mind's like, no, 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 you need to do this and this and this and this. Do the responsible thing. Everyone thinks that you should do this. Take that high paying executive position, even though it's going to take away your health and all the money you're making is going to be invested in your health. You would, your whole body would be healthier if you did this that your heart desires, even though it's half the money. You're going to keep all that half the money because you're going to be healthy. So, our mind doesn't think that way. It just thinks, oh, income and different things, right? But our heart goes, I want to be a painter, or I want to, you know, work in a daycare and help children, which, these types of positions that don't get paid quite what they deserve. Like teachers and nurses, and you're like, you guys don't get paid enough for what you do. But there's this underneath that Seven of Swords, this is what you have. You have the World card, which is the, you know, um, ending of old cycles. It's the last card in the major arcana. Ending of an old cycle, beginning of a new adventure, free of those expectations. And then the, Magician card is, the full card, the zero is the first card. But this is like, it just very much this ending and beginning type of energy that's coming in here regarding all this. So I do feel like you're asking spirit, what would you like me to know about next week, work wise? And they're like, um, follow your heart, go live your dream. What are you waiting for to live your dream? You don't want to live to work. You're working to live and expressing your life and doing that. So I love that energy. And you have a new opportunity with Ace of Pentacles that it'll open up for you here. Yeah, it's overcoming the fears. Who will I disappoint? What will I not meet? What are other people going to think? It's like, no, when we clear away all this, the fear uh, of failure, it's like when we realize that the story here, the swords, is our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets. And when we realize I'm the one that gets to choose the story, if I want to apply the story that everyone's told me, oh, if you don't do this, then you're a loser. It's like, well, that's your story, not mine. You know, and I imagine, I mean, if like 20 years ago, if I had looked at the life I'm living now, I would have been like, wow, I used to, earlier in life, maybe more like 30 years ago, I would have been people without cars. How can, that's loser. That was the mentality back then. If you don't have your own vehicle, oh my gosh, you're like below people. But I willingly sold my vehicle, sold my condo, simplified my life so that I could live my dream and do what I do. And because I was almost making 100K a year as a manager in an insurance company, and but I wasn't happy. I was almost on the verge of a nervous breakdown, working 80 hours a week. I would work, 10-hour days and then go home and continue to work, and majority of the weekend to work from home as well. And it was like, for what? I was just existing. I wasn't living. So I like that. I like this energy coming in here. Yeah. Judgment call. Your calling. This is your higher self calling your human to a higher place. I like this. Yeah. Something that's more Three of Pentacles, which is your true to your authentic self, not trying to be who you think other people want you to be out of fear of judgment and punishment, or out of losing other people's support. Those that love you will always support you. And if people who don't know you are judging you, what do we care what they think? They're making a poor judgment. If they don't know the full picture, then why do we even care what people think? They don't know everything that's going on in my life and inside of me. And they're just going, oh, this is what that means. We're like, you know what? You make stupid choices and stupid opinions. So why do I care? That's how we can look at it. It's not, in a loving way, right? We're just like, you're making unwise um assumptions, and I'm why do I care what you think, right? Yeah. And you got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is childhood dream, um and there's this past life energy with the Six of Cups that it's interesting how they're bringing that in, because we can get into this mentality that this is the only life that we live, and then oh my gosh, we put so much importance in, oh, I've got to do this in this life and this and this and this and this, and if I don't, but spirits, they're always, they're on spirit time. They're like, what's the rush? You're an eternal being. Do you know how many lifetimes that you've lived just as a human, and how many more? And then, not to mention all of the other dimensions and universes and everything else. You've lived millions of lives. They're like, this is one in a giant sea of lives that you are living, because everything happens in the now, right? But they're like, so what are you worried about? Live, live, live. Don't exist. Live your life. I feel like this is their energy for next week for you. Like what this is all going to be. What do you want to do? What do you feel is impossible? Hey, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a brain surgeon. You're like, what's stopping you? You know, you. That's only one. Whoa, no money. Well, they've got loans. Well, I don't know if I'm smart enough. You know, you can study and study and study. You can do it. I mean, there's so many examples of people who, dyslexic people, that they're like, it was hard. It was hard, but I did it because I loved it. It's what I want to do with my life, right? So hopefully that helps, MMC, with your general reading for career next week. So many blessings, and thank you again for your donation. I'm excited for your adventure ahead. All right. So Supernova, we are to you here. So we've got a couple. We've got the little star, the bright shining star coming in here. So that would be number 5. I think I saw that down here. Yep, there we are, number 5. So thank you for your additional donations. I so appreciate it. So how have the spirit guides been guiding you and supporting you? Do you ever interact with them? Because sometimes you feel I do hear them, maybe even Kurt too. Yeah, I can imagine, especially when you're alone so much. It's like that silence. You don't have to manage a lot of other people's energies. You do hear those. All right, well, boom, here we go. So let's take a look here. I landed that one there. So what are all these here? Yeah. So especially, there are times here when we have this, the power of choice, whatever we're focusing our energy on, right? When we're in the lower vibrational energy, it's too noisy than when we don't. We don't, it's like, um, they're around you, giving you love, trying to quiet things for you, but they honor our free will so much that they guide and support us to the extent that our soul, before you came down here, asked them to. And the rest of the time, it's like a 2-year-old who's learning things on their own and they don't want any help. That's kind of our human attitude. No, let me do it. I want to do it. It's like when you're going to pour milk for, a toddler, and they want to pour the gallon of milk. And they are, the human, like a human parent's like, no, I don't have to clean up after you. Spirit is much more like hands off. Of when we want to do stuff, they're like, all right, we'll get the mop, we'll get the paper towels, we'll get everything ready for the mess that's about to be made. But you're wanting to, do that, and we're excited you're wanting to learn and grow. It's why you're here, you know um, because they're not judgmental and they don't care about, they're going to do all that, so they support us in cleaning up messes. But they very much honor our free will and our power of choice. So I call it the honey-do list. Before we come down here, we give them this big list of things we want to experience and go through, and they're always working on that. But then of our own free will, we can ask them, we can reach out, and they will respond, because they are so excited when we do that. So the Two of Wands is when you're in higher vibration and you're, um, you know, then you can hear clearly, you can interact clearly. So when you're in your joy, when you're in that happy place, that higher vibration, that's the frequency at which they speak and exist. So clarity. But when we're in fear, it's loud and noisy. It's like being in a loud bar with the music blaring. You can see their lips moving, but you don't know what they're saying. Um, and so, that's kind of the energy that comes in there, and you do interact with, but it is here, when you're the Four of Wands is when you're in joy. This is joy and celebration, and energetically stable. Then we can hear it, right? Even the Six of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, you got all this stability. Two, fours, sixes, and eights, even numbers, where we're not in conflict. Then that's when we can hear and see things more clearly. The Eight of Pentacles too tells me that when you're working on your dream, when you're living in that moment where you feel like I'm working towards this, then that's when the joy and the celebration is there, right? And so when that comes in, that's when you have that connection. And when the world card, this is like a victory card, but it's also letting go of a lot of those expectations. And when you feel like you're living the adventure instead of trying to, have this long list of things that I have to get done, because that's when it starts to feel like a burden. Life feels like a burden when we feel like there's supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts. Sucks the life like the wind out of our sail. It's just like, ugh. But when we let all that go, then the wind comes and we just take off, across the water in our or little catamarans or sailboats or whatever. And they do. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And it's like when the Ace of Pentacles is a gift of spirit, but it is also this indication that we it's about our worth. When we have our self-worth in our hands, then that's when we can communicate so much with spirit. If we are feeling unworthy, then that's noise, that's fear, that's static. But when we're confident in our connection with spirit, that I deserve to interact with them, that I am unconditionally loved, and that my worth is in my hands, my self-worth coming from my higher self, not gauging it by other people's actions and things in the outside world, that just opens up the pipelines of communication. So, they guide you and support you based on what you've asked before coming down here, which we don't ask a ton, because this journey of a human is all about possibilities and the adventure. And we forget that when we come down here, because we're like, why isn't anyone helping me? Where's my servants? It's like, no, we wanted to be on the adventure and do things ourselves, and that's what comes in here. So um so hopefully that helps. But you interact with them when you're in that connection, then that is when that comes in. So hopefully that helps. But I love that. And then number 6, you get your rainbow sticker here. So thank you for your rainbow donation. And number 6 is, what other insights and advice would Kurt want to share? Maybe something you could relate to from his experience with life. Yeah. And I'm just going to close this vent. I don't know if it's been too loud for you guys, but it's down here in the basement. It's now 64 degrees. So I just need to turn that off real quick. Shut the little vent. There we go. It'll be quieter. Plus, I won't start shaking. All right. Maybe spirit is here. Can you see my breath? But it is funny because Kurt's like, yeah, it's about changing the temperature. You know, if you don't like the temperature of what's going on around you, then get up and change it. Don't sit there suffering. you know, don't wait. 'Cause I could have waited. Because it blows right on me from the vents like over here. Like, you can freeze your bohiny off, or you can make temperature adjustments. And I feel like that's an important piece. I feel like he's, mentioning that in his life, that he waited too long to make adjustments, and that's what sent him on his downward spiral. And yeah, if he would have, look at this balance with temperance. Sometimes you can, like, wait too long to not you, but like we as humanity can wait too long to make adjustments because we're afraid to, or we just we don't feel like we have the will within us, or whatever. But it's like, it's all about balance. It's all about, this energy with the 6 of Wands is balancing our energy. Balance, balance, balance. And yeah, let's see what else this is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got, yep, every moment is a choice in life. I know, right? Yeah, it's most humans, Nova. So don't worry. Here's the choice between 2 things: the moon energy. And this makes sense, because this Pisces energy that they have a lot of. And they're like, I don't know if you know your moon sign, or if you have a lot of water in your chart, but they're like balance is important, and we talked about following the moon. Like we're moving from we have Aries fiery energy that's been going on in the moon the last couple of days, but here in about an hour, we the moon is moving into Taurus, stability, right? And Aquarius moon. Oh, yeah. So you definitely have the Aquarius connection with him too. But but there's this has this I mean, with all this moon energy, it's about understanding the moon, following the moon sign, right? And going, oh, okay, so this is, why I feel this fire, agitation, because Aries energy, our moon, it impacts our emotions. So, excuse me. So it's important, like though, because he was, well, he's on the cusp. He was born like on, I think, the 20th, which depending on the year, I mean, it's within a day or two of Aquarius moving into Pisces. But I feel like he had a lot of, and I didn't pull his chart, but feel like he had a lot of water because he was very emotional. But he had the Aquarius of the I don't want to do things normal, rebel energy too. And so you have a rebel moon, like the movie. But there's this paying attention to that is important because your emotions up, down, all over the place, right? Every 2 to 3 days, we go from fire to earth, and then to air, and then to water, and then back to fire, to earth, to air, to water, fire, so our emotions feel all over the place. So, we do have that type of energy. Hey, VD, thank you. Yeah, if you're interested, this is the name of the deck here. I really like them. I like the simplification and the gold and the black. It's just I like it crisp. Yeah, and the Ace of Swords. So this is about, you know, also seeing things from a higher perspective and getting different perspectives. And it's important when you're feeling emotional, and because it's right next to the moon. It's like, you know, you have these choices of the physical world. Get up and move. Get out of a situation if you're feeling emotional. Get out and walk. That helps with endorphins anyway, but it's like get away from the situation, otherwise you'll get consumed by the situation. I feel like that's what they're saying happened to them, and they're like, that's why you got to move, you got to make the decision to get up and to get away from it. Don't sit there. Get up. I like that. Whoopsh, whoopsh. Yeah. Because you have the hanged man here. Like this is when you feel trapped. You feel like you're hung upside down. Let's see what he says here. Yeah, the Six of Cups. Here's all that past life energy. Yeah, and so that makes sense here too. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles, which is this feeling of unworthiness that kicks in, and um the it's about getting up and getting out. And we were just talking about the Six of Cups earlier, how we can get so caught up into this lifetime. But I like it when we're reminded that, do you know how many lives that you've lived? A million. We've lived million, probably millions, because of how many dimensions, how many universes, how many different frequencies, and then just in humanity itself, how many we've lived as a human, as an animal, as a plant, as a mineral, we've experienced all these things. And it's like, try to put your life into perspective of this is one part you're playing in one movie when you've made millions of movies. And it's like the proper perspective. Get up out of the situation, see things from a different perspective is really what I feel like he, um, didn't. And he sat in it and then that's when it became too much, and then why he left at the time he did, even though it was destined. He was like had a range of when his death was going to be, and he chose to take it within this range. But it was important because of the message that it brings to so many people, and to his wife, and to his children, and the world of, oh wow, you know, um, it shake it shook and rattled people's cages when they were like, oh my gosh, they ended their life, and it makes you think about life as a human as well. Yeah, yeah. So it's like, so that's what he's saying, get up and move. Just have and especially if you're not eating and doing all that, then your energy level is down, and your body is running on empty because you're not giving yourself fuel. So get up and get something to eat, drink some water, hydrate, and then once you have some energy, get out on your patio or step outside. See, it's winter there, right? So it's summer up here, it's winter on that side. So, bundle up if it's cold out, but just get some fresh air, step outside of it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the challenge of an artist, as well. So it's like learning to catch yourself and stop, is the big thing. So, but yeah, because he's like, it's worth sticking around for, but you've got to get up off your butt right now, get up and go eat. Get something to eat. Yeah, like the burger. Go get something to eat, get something to drink, and get out into some fresh air, and you know, just start choosing you. But of course, number one, counseling. Number two, he's like boom, boom, boom. He's so funny. All right. So that's what they have for you for that, Nova. So hang in there, my dear. Hang in there. You're so funny. All right. So, and then I see you have another one. So we'll be done to that one here in a moment. He's there. He is. They're always with you 24/7. So they're always around you. All right. So then we have Infinity. Thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. And then I have two for Kaylin. So we will be to those two, and then back to Nova. So, Infinity, you wanted to know, is L romantically interested in you? Whoa. All right. Let's take a look here. So, let's take a sip here and see. Based on current energies, are they currently interested in you romantically? Got to roll the R when you're talking about that. Let's see here. Okay, they want that one and these two. They want them like that. All right. All right. Well, at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is one of my relationship cards, the abundance of the outside world. So it feels like there is some of that interest relationship, but it's not of the heart, right? So far, you've got 6 cards down here. This is the bottom of the deck, which is the abundance, the, relationship, the fullness of life type of thing. So they do see partnership as a possibility that's there, right? Let's see if there's any romance here. Well, we got the Knight of Wands, which is passion. Romance is more of the heart, right? This is more of the libido, the energetic and physical attraction. Knight of Wands, which I usually say is like a little chihuahua that wants to hump everyone's legs, right? Let's take a look here, see what else. We got Temperance. We always love seeing that when we're asking about romance. That is facetious and sarcasm because that's slow patience. It's a slow burn that comes in here. It's like, okay, so they're not in a rush to act on it, on these feelings of partnership, but also, you know, attraction. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Eight of Swords. So they are working through a lot of their fears, the supposed to be's, the should be's, the need to be's, these thoughts and beliefs. Like their body wants this, their mind wants this, but they're also like, wait a minute, you know, these uh we can't leap into this. That's where this temperance comes from. It's like, whoa, no, no, no. We got so many things to be afraid of. It's a minefield out there. You got to walk careful. And so they've got this. They might have had some other things come through and happen in their life here. And you got the high priestess. So there's a lot of hidden and unknown about Elle. Um, that's below the surface because the high priestess, she's able to dive deep and reveals the hidden. I feel that's coming in here. And we got the Seven of Wands. There's a lot of I want to say, how do we want to say this? This energy of it's not bravery and courage, you know, because the feeling that we could have is like the Seven of Wands sometimes is like, I gotta be me, I've got to shine bright, I'm not gonna dim my light or ask permission. I'm unapologetically myself. And there's this courage energy that can be with that. But I feel it's different. I feel like this is out of it's like putting on a mask. I'm brave and I'm gonna be me and I don't care what anyone thinks. How does everyone think about how about that? You know? It's like, I don't care what people think, but how do people care? How do people think about me when I don't care what people think? It's that kind of mask, it's on this, but you're like, but all you have to do is go boop. It's like those they're showing me like Universal Studios or whatever where they have the little ghost town, the westerns, right? But all they are is the front and they're just held up. And if you walk through, there's no roof, there's no walls, it's all a facade of bravery that's not really there because they have these fears of moving forward here. Yeah, and it feels like they are very much kind of focused on this feeling of fullness in the outside world with this King of Pentacles. And that makes sense with this Ten of Pentacles too. I didn't see any cups here, and that just means that they don't have a whole lot of romance to offer as far as true heartfelt emotion. It means they don't have a whole lot for themselves at this point in their energy. And because they don't have a whole lot of that for themselves, then they um, don't have a whole lot to give. So they revert to passion, physical energy, uh, energetic attraction, and the physical world. But the emotions are kind of clogged. There's a very small pipeline, a very small amount that they can give and receive because they don't have it for themselves. So that's what's coming in here. I don't feel like the romantic love, but there's that attraction energy and that thinking, well, these are the things that I need in the outside world to be successful and complete. Well, you would fit into that. I have a job opening and I think you have the qualifications to apply for that job, you know, within their life. And it's like, but there's a missing piece there, right? Now, if you get these readings, and I don't know if this is the same person that we've been asking about or if different varieties, but they're just showing me in the back of my head if it's like, why do I keep attracting people who are emotionally unavailable? Mirror for us, right? We draw to us the teachers that we want to show us what we want to see about ourselves. And so, um, a great question we can ask ourselves when these things happen is, okay, how am I not being emotionally available to myself? sit with that and see what resonates with that. Right. So that's what's coming in there for you, Infinity. Thank you again for your donation. All right. Now, Kaylin, thank you so much for your double donations here. So let me just make sure here. All right. So let's see. Where is your question up here? I think that's it there. Let me just make sure there wasn't anything before that. I'm just going to scroll to the top here. Kaylin. And thank you for your patience in getting to your reading as well. And for everyone that's waiting on your free readings, I'll be on for about 30 more minutes. And if I won't get to all the free readings, and maybe none sometimes, but I will come back on after I spend about an hour with my Praying Mantis members and after I eat, and then I will come back and complete everything. All right. All right. So, Kaylin, so for your first donation, you want to know, when is your housing stability going to prosper? All right. So let's take a look here. Pisces life, eh? I see that here. Yeah, I love how when Spirit will talk about things that it's like I learned so much about my life through everyone's messages. So I get it that messages resonate as well. So let's look at stability here with housing. And then the other one, you want a general love reading, which we'll take a look there. All right. Well, I like the bottom of the deck. You do have the 10 of Pentacles coming up, which is one of the most abundant, fulfilling cards. So that's a good thumbs up that it is going to prosper. Let's see if they'll tell us more here about the when. All right. So let's see what we have here. All right. So you've got the Two of Swords coming out first, which is being at a crossroads. And so I feel like you're going to have some decisions with housing coming up here. And the Two of Swords has this energy of closing your eyes and opening your heart. So getting out of your head and getting into your heart. And what I mean by that is, like, if we can get caught up into these supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and have to be's, and they all are small t truths that are rooted in fear, where if we're trying to achieve and we're trying to stay, in something, with that, it's like um we can get so caught up in our head that we're missing the balanced decision that helps move things along. Now, there is this Four of Swords that comes right after that, which is peace of mind and balance of the mind. So that is reinforced here with that, with those energies, and even the King of Cups, which is all about the King of Cups rolls over the emotions, but the all the kings are given a second portion of swords. So that's the balancing of head and the heart again. So you've got this recurring message that's coming in here about the when. It's like it's going to happen, but the when has to do with our energy and our story, right? So the Two of Swords is like every moment is a choice between higher vibration and lower vibration. And if I focus in on joy, which we've got the Three of Cups, which is joy and celebration as well. When I focus in on that and gratitude, so gratitude for where I am living right now, and for what I love in my life, what I'm grateful for, joy, laughter, celebration, that's higher vibration. That draws in things that match that. And a big aha that comes in with understanding manifestation and our energy, both our mental energy, our emotional energy, our spiritual energy, our physical energy. When I focus in on where I feel like something is missing or that I'm wanting something, that's what we're taught, right? As children, focus on what you want, focus on what's missing, focus on what you hate, focus on what you fear. What the hell, that stuff expands. So if I'm focusing on what I feel is missing or wanting, I actually push it away from me instead of drawing it toward me. So the more I focus on, like, if I'm looking for, stability of, housing, and that, what do I love about, my home, past homes, that, and what am I grateful for? What do I have in my life? Then we're given more. Then our energy draws it in and it matches. But if our energy isn't matching it, it can't come. It's like magnets that are turned. It repels it away. It doesn't, and bring it together. So that's an important piece is, as far as the speeding things up, I love the 10 of Pentacles. It's going to happen. You're going to have stability, but it's all about here the death and the rebirth of focusing on joy, and letting that be um, the focus, because then spirit can bring in things for us, but if we have this, force filled up, they're trying to bring it to us, but we won't let them. So hopefully that helps with that energy there. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude as much as you can. And if you want things to happen faster, because we are taught to focus on that other energy, we get drawn out into it easy. You can either do a a gently oh, very good. And so, the energy we put forward, and the more gratitude we can have, then, you know even putting like a vibrating silent alarm on your phone for every waking hour, gratitude. What am I grateful for in this moment? What am I grateful for what that happened this last hour? It changes the energy and it draws things in. So yeah. And so focusing on homelessness and fear, then that's like, uh-oh, what am I doing? I really like this. Bring me this. Bring me more of this if that's what I'm in, right? It's like, oh. And the 3 of Cups is also about community and friendships. And so if you are in a situation where you don't have somewhere to be, consider um gratitude for someone, people that can help, that spirit is bringing in people that can open up their home or open up something for you too. But I feel like community is important as well. All right, so that is for your first one there. And then the second one has to do with a general with love. All right. So let's take a look here and see what spirit wants you to know around love, 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 love. All right. Those and that. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Hey, Rizika, and anyone else new coming in? Yeah, there's you guys. All you have to do is put your question in the chat. I do go down in first come first serve. I do prioritize donations, which is what I'm on right now. So yeah, feel free to post your question, and if you want it prioritized, I've got. I think I just have Kaylin's here, and then Nova's, and so um, anyone that makes a donation would be up after that. Other than that, I'll start at the very top for the free readings. All right, so I do like this here for you. You've got the 5 of Wands, which is a change of energy. So it's like they're basically whatever, we talked about with all the focus of energy, that fits right in with love too. And so they're saying here, the energy, when the energy changes, it's what draws things in. So, like, it's like job, it's like home, it's like anything. When we start having gratitude about the relationships we have had. Like, what did I love? And I know sometimes it's hard, but you can make a list of the relationships that you've had, both romantic and other, but the things you love about the relationships you have. And when you start having gratitude and focusing in on that and kind of releasing, like if we're like, oh, I really want a relationship, well, we push it further away because of the wanting, right? Or I feel like I'm missing something in my life. And we're telling the universe we enjoy wanting, we enjoy missing. So, if they bring it to you, you stop wanting and missing. So they don't want to stop that. Our energy will repel again. So, we do bring in this energy that comes in with that when you start focusing on all of the love of the past, the emotions of the past, the things I loved about these individuals, and then have gratitude with it, right? And we almost release it to the creator, trusting that they're going to bring the perfect person in the perfect way, in the perfect timing. We can tell them, hey, I do want a relationship, and I'm grateful that you're going to bring in, I'm putting it in your hands. I'm just going to have gratitude for you instead of asking every day, I really want a relationship. They're like, no, I'm working on it. But the more you ask, you're pushing it away. So have gratitude that it's coming and not focusing on those things, right? Yeah. Yeah. And spirit knows that too, right? So let's see what all these cards are. That was the bottom of the deck. So they just kind of wanted to reiterate that here. Yeah. And you have the Six of Wands, you know, with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles, I really feel you are in the process of finding out who you are, who's your true authentic self. And the Six of Wands is that you're working out this energy of like you have to be able to well, it got really bright suddenly. There's loving yourself, right, is the win-win because we can't give more love to others than we love ourselves, nor receive love from others more than we love ourselves, right? So if I love myself this much, no matter how much love I want to, give out, it's just going to drip, 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 and no matter how much love someone wants to give me, it's going to drip, drip, drip. But if I expand my self-love, my true authentic self, and the fears fall away, then that opens up the pipeline, both up here, but also in giving and receiving love to the outside world. So I love that you're working on transforming and getting to the root of our fears. Because, you know, we're not less than, we're not broken. So, it's like the heartbreak we felt isn't that our heart broke, and so our heart doesn't really need healing as much as we are experiencing fear in our heart. Getting to the root of our fear of not being good enough, not being lovable, blah, blah, whatever lie is bouncing around in there, right? We can transform that into higher truth, and then we don't fear it anymore. And so we face what's the worst thing that can happen in a relationship? Oh, be cheated on. That was like my big fears. Long story, because my mom had been cheated on in between my brother and me. I was the younger. And so when she had me, she had this fear that my father was going to continue to do that. So she had all this fear I felt all growing up. And so my big fear in relationships was people are going to cheat on me. And guess what? I drew them in to show them, to show me that. And when I realized and I faced that fear looking at the shadow, right, that, I learned that, oh, creator wanted to show me how I was, showing me the mirror that I wanted to see, that I was cheating on myself with others because I was looking for my self-worth out here instead of here. Self-worth, not retail price. That's what how we feel we're worth to others is retail. But our true self-worth we find inward and upward. And so that's what I learned through those experiences, like, oh, I was being the cheater on me with them, and that's why they were reflecting that back to me. And then I'm like, oh wow. And then I don't fear that anymore, you know the relationships that came after that, I didn't fear that they were gonna cheat on me. I learned other things, but I that had gone away. So, so I feel like that's a big piece here. Yeah, you have the 7 of Wands. Yeah, you will be getting this authenticity. This 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands together is about you becoming the sun, not dimming your light for anyone, but shining bright, learning like I am awesome. And if someone doesn't like it, oh well, not shrinking. I used to shrink and oh, I gotta try to be who everyone wants me to be. But then it was like, no, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So I really like that energy coming in here. Yeah. And I like this, the full card. The new journey, the new adventure with the Queen of Pentacles about you being true to the authentic you. This is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing yourself and allowing this new birth of you. Um, it's like the rising of who you really are is coming in with all of this. Let me see what these other cards are here. Because you've got, yeah, yeah. So you are in the process here. You've got the 7 of Pentacles, which is this, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, but also this as you're changing and evolving, it's like a caterpillar. When you're a caterpillar, you desire to be with caterpillars. You desire to eat leaves, and you can only go so fast, so far, right? But the transformation that you're letting pieces of the caterpillar fall away. The caterpillar becomes caterpillar juice and the chrysalis or the cocoon, and they are letting pieces of themselves fall away because it's like this isn't me anymore. And then as you um, step out of the cocoon, the struggle to get out of the cocoon is the wing muscles that you develop. But when you realize you're like, I don't want caterpillars anymore. I want someone who can fly with me because I can't carry a caterpillar and I'm not walking. I got wings to fly now. And I don't like leaves. I like nectar and I like migrating. I can go 1,000-mile migration. A caterpillar would never be able. They can't even comprehend. I don't know what 1,000 miles is. I can never see that. I hit a little stream. I can't go over it. You can flutter over a river, a raging river. Da 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 da. Oh, I just went over a river. I didn't even realize it. So you have this great transformation that you're in. And I feel like you will, because your mindset is changing with the Ace of Swords, you are seeing things from a higher perspective. You're cutting away the small t truths. You're facing the fears, going, why do I fear that? We've been taught, oh, their actions mean something about me. And it's like, no, the mirror I see is for me to question myself. But everyone else's actions and words or non actions or silence isn't about me. That's about what's going on inside of them, right? I can't make anyone happy. No one can make me happy. That's my job and that's their job to make themselves happy, to make myself happy. And then we fill up and overflow, right? I find the love I'm looking for in here, the joy and everything, and then the outside world changes from a place of lack to a place of overflowing because I'm filling up from the inside out, not looking for the outside to fill me because they're going to fail. They can't give me what I'm looking for. So I like that, and that's what I feel like you'll end up taking a different direction with the 3 of Wands, but you do have a King of Cups, you have a compatibility. The King of Cups for me is one of those, is one of my cards of you find a compatible partner, but they're a butterfly, they're not a caterpillar, and, um, and you're in the middle of your cocoon, and the more you continue to focus on raising your love vibration, raising your own self-worth, and we do that by questioning our old lower vibrational thoughts, beliefs, and mindsets of fear that don't serve us anymore, letting go of relationships and emotions that don't serve us anymore, and making our higher vibrational choices, then those things draw in. So yeah. Epiphany. All right. Boom. I love it. I love spirit. They know what they're doing. So I love that for you, Kaylin. So it's a coming. I just feel like, just focusing your energy as much on higher vibration, turning down our fear noise by questioning our fear beliefs, our fear emotions from the past, transforming them into higher knowledge, higher wisdom, higher vibration, then that's what changes things. And we don't want to, keep doing what we've always did and get what we've always gotten. And when we're in the cocoon, sometimes things kind of go slow, right? And like you haven't been wanting a relationship lately, but it's like, you know, so I really like this transformation. So you are very welcome, and thank you so much for your donations. And here, just a little thing here. This is one of my emojis that I created that was all about a butterfly carrying a caterpillar. You never see that in nature. So so that's what we have there. All right, many blessings. Right, and then we have Nova. Thank you for your additional donation here. And number 7 there, and for the burger, and what'd you say here? You said you didn't realize how hungry and thirsty you were till Kurt pointed it out. Now you're eating, and damn, my body feels at ease, right? It doesn't think like it's dying of starvation. But thank you for your additional donation as well, my dear. Glad you're getting some food in your belly. All right. So let's take a look here. So, what is your journey as an artist? How has your life experiences in being stuck and holed up in an apartment shaping it and your music artistry? All right. Let's see what they have here. All righty. Yeah. Well, the bottom of the deck, you have the Queen of Pentacles. It's almost like the Empress, right? It's Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and being held up with yourself here. You even got Mother Luna underneath. So, one, you really been understanding your struggles with Mother, um, but also about, and it comes back to this nurturing yourself. And it is kind of a cocooning kind of energy where because of this aloneness or this hold upness that you get to experience and understand what it feels like because I guarantee you like 99.9% of humanity will be able to relate to that. And a lot of your experiences, you've chosen so many in a short amount of time in your life, being just 18 going on 19, that you have all of this. It's like a painter that has, if you only had one experience, you would have like a black ink, you would have black ink on white paper, which is beautiful and contrasting, but you wanted color, you wanted like technicolor. And so everything you've experienced is like a different color that you combine together to paint a beautiful picture that people can relate to and that can touch people. Yeah. Yep, 18 going on 19, right? And so we've got this, that this is a big piece of your life experiences, and all of this helps shape your music and your artistry because it's the color, or in your case, there's going to be a guitar. If you had one string on your guitar, bing, 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 or bing, 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 bing. You can only do one, right? But when you have, 3 strings, 6 strings, 9 strings, how many, and then all the strings of a piano, it's like there's all these different keys that can create different melodies and different things. And so I love that. Yeah. And the 3 of Wands, it's also a change of directions. And It allows you to see different perspectives, like there's different avenues. And the more you've experienced and you realize too that I don't want this. I don't want to stay holed up. I got to get out. And it helps you change directions in your life too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the death card. Here again, the fear of death. But the fears that come in here and the letting the fears go, and that, you know, when we get frustrated enough, then that's when we want to make change. But if everything is comfy, we don't want to make change. We won't do things. We'll stay hidden, you know. Um, so yeah, it's like you're ready for this um movement, right? And getting out of your head and into your heart. And the Eight of Pentacles, here's the putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the decisions, the stories. And the Two of Swords is our power of story choice too. And that, you're able to, having experienced one, like a dark alley, you know what it is like to choose a very bright road, and that there's the difference between the two. And the contrast has been a very important part of this journey and this adventure for you here. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah. So balancing of the head and the heart, and the strength card is, connecting your human, connecting with your higher self. That, a lot of what you experience too is our journey. It's the journey of every human. And there's that Leo energy with the strength card. You chose your lifetime, you chose this path. And that's a big piece, is that you're learning too, is that nothing happened by accident. It all happened because I wanted it to. And this change of mindset of, being able to move from a place of like a victim of life is happening to me, which we all experience as humans, and we come down here to experience it. So there's no judgment, but we are like, we get very dramatic in the drama of, I'm a victim, there's a villain, and where's my hero? Oh, life is happening to me. To like, all right, where's my hero? They're not showing up. The trains are coming, I'm tied to the railroad tracks. You rip off the rope and you're like, I'm my own hero. And then you realize, oh, there is no, I wrote the story. There is no victim, villain, hero. It was a story, and life happens for me, not to me. And so if there's a victim, a villain, or a hero, we're in the drama of the human victimhood. And then when we step into the power, knowing that I wanted this to happen for me, boom, right? So that's what comes in. Boom shakalaka. All right. So that's what they had for that. And I'm going to be headed off here in just a moment. So make sure, there you go, boom. So you'll be up first when we come back for that one here. Let me take a quick screenshot of that so I know I have that one. So you'll be up first. For everyone else, I did not get to any of the free readings yet, but I'm going to head off, spend about an hour with my Praying Mantis members, and then I'm going to eat, and then I'll be back on about an hour and a half ish, and I'll complete. Nova will be up first. We'll dive into that, and then I will complete all the free readings as well. So. Let's take a look in here. All right, so we already answered that one. Let me just grab some screenshots here, because when I come back, the free readings, I will do it in order as they appeared. And because there's no chat in the second one when I come back, I will list in the notes when I'm done with that next stream the order in which the readings were completed, so that everyone can find their reading much more quickly. Right. So let me see here. Here we go. Just making sure here. Don't want to miss anyone here. So I'm just taking my time to make sure. All right, so it's right here. All right. So I do have them all captured. So I will be back in about an hour and a half. So thank you guys for all your patience in getting to the free readings. The donations are how I earn my living and how I eat. So I'm so grateful for those. But I do know that not everyone can make donations. So I do like to come back on and complete the free readings. It just might, it takes a little bit of time to do them all. So I shall return. And Razika, I do have yours. Will you see Sasha soon? So when I come back in an hour and a half, Nova will be up first for her donation, and then I'll start in the free readings and make my way down there. So in the meantime, if anyone wants to check out any of the other free things, I have a ton of free content on my main page, um, including this is the new moon alert. We also have Leo season. So if you want to check those out, there's a lot of information from Spirit on these. We also have the Lion's Gate portal coming up, which has 8 gates to choose from. You can choose as many of those as you would like. We also have August monthlies out there and solstice relationship readings. So these are good from 3 months for the solstice period. And those are for each individual zodiac sign. So I think those are the main things there. And then also, if you haven't checked out my From Chaos to Cozy, we have I'm changing it from weekly to monthly, and this one of my praying mantis members, Sue, we had a podcast where we talked about some of her chaos and how she uses water wisdom healing, and so be sure to check that out as well. All right. So all that stuff is free there for you guys as well. Just follow your hearts and you can get some additional messages. But I'll be back in about an hour and a half. And until then, remember every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.